Hi, my name is Joanna Clyer, and my show's called JOJO'S Mojo, where I have guests on, where I take them from zero to hero. I am giving interviews so that they could tell us what's going on in their lives, what has gone on in their lives in the past, and what their future holds for them. Because it's very important that we have goals in our life and we strive to be the best version of ourselves. So I want to thank Mr. Shawn White for coming on the show with me. Welcome, Shawn White. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And thank you so much for having me to be a guest on this marvelous Monday.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, and thanks for all that you're doing for Mupo Entertainment and bringing people in so that they can have their own shows and stuff like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go out for a commercial break with our sponsors, and then we'll come back with Shawn White. We're back with Shawn White in JoJo's Mojo. So glad you guys have come back to watch us. Hey, Shawn. So what are you doing now, presently?
Yes. So what am I doing here, JoJo? So not only as far as that, I'm with Mupo Entertainment, in which I'm part of the corporate talent department, but in addition as well, I'm a speaker, mental thought leader, coach, and also I'm a student at HMI, and I'm studying to become a hypnotherapist. So these days, I've been very busy. Been a very busy boy, to say this.
Yeah, keeping busy is the best thing for a person. It keeps them going, and it keeps them from stopping and just being stuck. First, I'm going to ask you the first question today about where did you come from, and what was the start of your rise from being at your bottom?
That's a great question. So, originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. Been there for about 26 years. Had some very humbling beginnings, to say the least. I can definitely tell you, as far as my childhood, it was very rough, to say the least. I was in a violent, dysfunctional background. And for individuals such as myself, because of the fact I'm a 70s baby, so I grew up in the hip hop and crack era. More so, if we, by the time we hit 18, if we don't land in jail or strung out on drugs, that's pretty much, a miracle in itself. And by 21, if we have our head on straight, then that's truly a testimony. So just surviving as far as when that particular environment, being in New York City, if anybody knows, it is no joke, to say the least. So started with that 26 years. Spent some time down in Miami, Florida for about 13 years. Met a lot of great people, established a lot of great relationships. But honestly, Miami, Florida is just too hot, period. Way too hot. So, but beautiful people, by the way, beautiful beaches, scenery. And here in Atlanta, Georgia, I've been here for about 5 years now. 5.5 years with my beautiful fiance, Vicky. As far as on how I got my start, because I'm an online entrepreneur, actually an entrepreneur of 8 years. And prior to that, I have over 20 years of sales, marketing, customer service experience. Done did a little bit of everything, done sold everything except for literally air. And I kid you not, right? Gained a lot of great skills, a lot of great experiences. And when I came into the entrepreneur realm about 8 years ago, like many people, I thought it was a slam dunk, right? Based on my skill set, based on everything in which I've learned, I'm like, yeah, I could just come in here, right, and just make millions and millions of dollars. And really, my mindset, because I was very naive, if you will, and figured that it would just be a breeze. Well, wake up call. This is what happened. First year, been scammed twice. One for about 1,500, the other about 4,500. Been disappointed by company by company, been taught all wrong. Like literally, I've been taught to spam and everything else. And so for my first few years was pretty much, we like to say I was on a struggle bus, but it was on a struggle bus. And I really couldn't figure it out. I was wondering, is it just me? I was really doubting myself, very, very doubting myself. And so to answer your question, what was my rock bottom? My rock bottom was when I was homeless here in Atlanta, Georgia. And literally, I had 2 pennies to rub. I'm in a new city, which I don't know anyone. And I tell you, JoJo, it was only by his grace and mercy, by, divine grace that I was even able to survive. Because based upon the circumstances and based upon the morale of the people that was in the homeless shelter, you would be like, there's no way whatsoever. So the turning point of that, don't give me the short version, it's a lot more detailed than that, but to give me the short version, what happened was that, and this is something that I don't think that I would ever forget this, is that when I came out of church one day and I was sitting down in the park and I was listening to gospel music, and I kid you not, JoJo, it's like literally everything just froze. Everything stopped still. Have you ever seen The Matrix by any chance?
Oh yeah, one of my ultimate favorite movies.
Okay. Do you remember the scene when Neo, Keanu Reeves, when he was walking down the street and like literally things just went super, super slow? And he was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And people are looking at him. I kid you not, that's exactly how the way it was with me. And so I heard a voice as clear as day and said, Shawn, you're going to be a $200 million earner. You're going to travel all around the world, motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses. Not only will you be showing individuals that it's possible to live their dreams, but also your team as well is going to be giving back to nonprofit organizations and charities. So it's going to be more so of legacy, and your team is going to walk the walk and talk the talk. When I heard that, I'm like, okay. Did somebody just say something? Right? Like literally, did somebody just say something? Like I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm bugging, right? I'm hallucinating. But then I heard that voice again, just as clear as I'm telling you. It's as clear as you can hear the sound of my voice. That's how it was. This is how I know that it was God. This was a God moment. Within 2 weeks of that time, I was able to land me a job. And then within 6 months, I was able to get my own place. If that's not with God, I don't know what. I don't know what. So at my lowest point, in my rock bottom, he showed up and he gave me this divine calling. And I've just been on a mission ever since. Ever since, just to improve and get better and better and connect with like-minded individuals. And I'm just driven.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
After this commercial break, we'll be back with Shawn White with more exciting questions and answers. Welcome back to JoJo's Mojo, where we have Shawn White with us. Welcome back, Shawn.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is actually talk about Mupo Entertainment. How did you find out about Mupo Entertainment, and what are you doing now with Mupo Entertainment, and what are you doing with the future with Mupo Entertainment?
Wow, to tell you, this most certainly had to been a God moment, because how it came about Mupo Entertainment, I was actually, still in school studying to be a hypnotherapist. And I recall there was a certain young lady that has a red shirt on right now, and she reached out to me. And you was just telling me as far as on what you had going on and that about this amazing platform and organization. You told me as far as with the mission and what's that they were looking for talent for individuals that would love as far as to have like their own TV show and really looking as far as to take it to the next level in terms of their dreams and their business and their brand. And so I have to admit, because I was so busy at the time, I didn't connect with you like immediately on that. Actually, you were very persistent, which is one of the things of which I love because I believe as far as when you told me it was in March and then by June, I believe I had a conversation with you and the CEO, Miss Michelle, and I just loved her vibe and her mission. And it was like, you know what? Like, wow, TV, cool. So I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And you know what? It's just been a fun, amazing ride. I've been learning so much about the industry. My goodness. And just it's just a different mindset. It really, really is. So to answer your question, what is my position? My position is that I'm part of corporate talent, which essentially means that I'm on the front lines. I love to talk about mobile entertainment. I love as far as to search out and seek talented individuals, those that have a dream, that have a passion, that are looking as far as to take their brand and their careers to the next level. And so with mobile entertainment, I love for the fact since that we are compared as far as the HBO Max, so Hulu and NBC Peacock, and we give individuals the opportunity to be a creative producer to have their own TV show. That is an opportunity that does not come around every single day. It really,
Nope.
really don't. So when you get an opportunity to learn from the best of the best, and you learn not only the industry knowledge, but then also the family environment is just it's just so positive and it's so welcoming. That is something that I would say about 95% of entrepreneurs, especially that's online, are looking for. And so it's really a happy marriage. It really, really is.
Yeah, it sure is. And also, it gives an opportunity for a person not to be a solo entrepreneur, even though you have your own show, your own television station. We still work as one cohesive unit. And that's what I find so enjoyable. And Michelle always says, if you do what I tell you, you will be successful.
That's one of the things. So I'm glad you mentioned that too, because a lot of entrepreneurs, we can get into this mode of being what is known as the solopreneur, right? You feel like that you just have to do every single thing. Here's the reality what I learned in the 8 years as being an entrepreneur. In order for you to scale and get to the next level, in order for you to reach your goals, in order for you to be a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever it is, it's virtually, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but you're really putting more strain on you than need be. So you need an organization, you need a team that believes in your vision, that sees your vision, and that's willing to help you. But with this organization, we're all about that, but you have to be serious and you gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry. You cannot, this is an organization in which that you can't flip flop. Like in most companies you can, or most organizations you can be in 1 minute and then, you kind of flutter in the dust. Because in TV and entertainment, that's not the way that it works. You have to be hungry, you have to be driven, you have to be coachable because it's going to be times where you're going to be getting constructive criticism, right? And you may not like it all the time, but it's very necessary and conducive for your success. So it's just a totally different mind shift, and we be learning so much all the time. Me and you, Joanna. I mean, it's just amazing. It's incredible. It really, really is.
It is. Tell the audience about how you reached out to me personally.
Yeah, so very interesting. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe I seen one of your Facebook Live videos, and you were walking through the park, and you had on your black hat with glasses. And I was like, well, this is interesting. Okay, so that was the first thing that caught my attention. That was an attention grabber. But then when I started listening to you, and I really started listening to your heart and just listening to your message, I said, you know what? This lady, she has something. She really, really has something. So something told me to reach out to you. And surprisingly, you responded. And from there, we connected and we found out we had so much in common. And as far as, that you're a light worker, you love to serve and help others. And also, me and you are in the same industry or niche, which is personal development and also public speaking as well. I like to say transformational speaking. So it was just like, wow. And that's the way that it works, guys. That's the way that it works, especially in media entertainment. You'd be surprised on how many people that you actually connect with, but you gotta be out. You gotta be out there.
Yes. The one thing that keeps us from being out there is the fear of the unknown. That is number one.
Funny story about that. This is something which I love to talk about a lot as far as on my Facebook Lives. I love to talk about as far as Facebook Lives, because when I started in my career as being an online entrepreneur, that was one of the things that I used to tell myself, no one wants to listen to me. I don't have the credentials. I don't know as far as like the Les Browns or John C. Maxwell's. Who would want to listen to me, right? And all that was just a story. It was a story in which I was telling myself that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart enough, wasn't worthy enough. And so playing that story over and over and over again, there was a young lady that I spoke with, and she told me, she said flat out, Shawn, in order for you to reach the people that you want to motivate, encourage, and inspire, like you tell me so often, the only way to do it, man, is just do it. Just jump. Just jump. You don't have to be perfect, but guess what? You got to do it sometime. So she challenged me to do a 5-day Facebook Live series. Now, mind you, from someone that was terrified of doing Facebook Live, challenged me to do a 5-day Facebook Live series, I was petrified. This was my first Facebook Live. Hey guys, how you doing? Man, I forgot my name. Shawn White. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Shawn White, Atlanta, Georgia. Guys, as you can see, I'm really, really nervous. And so what happened? I went through it, and I didn't get no engagement. So one side was like, you know what? You just made a fool out of yourself, man. You just need to stop. But I was determined. I said, no, 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 no. She told me to do a 5-day Facebook Live series, and she challenged me. And so it was just something within me that was like, you know what? When I'm challenged like that, I just have a tendency to just prove people wrong, not realizing that I was proving myself wrong. And so that second day, we're still stuttering and fluttering, but I felt a little better. So I had one heart and one like and one comment. So I said, all right, I'm on to something. And so by the 5th day, I just got better. Still with the kinks and still with the stuttering and different things, but I was starting to get engagement. I said, cool. And then I told myself, what would it look like if I just do a Facebook Live for 2 weeks? And what I used to do, and I still do to this day, before I do a Facebook Live on IG Live, I pray. I pray each and every single time.
Yes.
And from that, I just allow us for the spirit to take over. And apparently I'm doing something right, because I've been doing Facebook Lives, I've been doing speaking now for about a couple of years. So I guess I'm doing something right.
You are. Well, you're surrounding yourself around only quality people and people that are more advanced in their jobs and what they're doing more than you. And this is why mentoring is very important. This is why sticking with winners is very important. And you're definitely a winner with me. And I look forward to being a part of MUPO family for a very, very long time.
Appreciate that. Likewise here. Totally.
Good. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to ask Shawn how to get a hold of him and what his future plans are, or goals or dreams that he has that he hasn't set yet or done yet.
Right.
Welcome back to JoJo's Mojo, where I have the Shawn White. Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to ask you, Shawn White, how can our audience find you?
Yeah, so you can find me as far as on most of the social media handles on Facebook. I'm Shawn White, as you see here, with this beautiful face here. Or also, I have the lighthouse that's in the back. That's very symbolic, by the way.
Mm.
In addition, on Instagram, you can follow me at Mr. _ Politic 35. On YouTube, Shawn A. White. On Twitter, not sure what my Twitter handle is on that, but I have to double check that. And on Clubhouse, you can reach me at Shawn A. White.
All right, well, tell me a little bit about maybe a goal that you want to start implementing for yourself.
A goal that I want to start implementing right away, because of fact I have a passion. I just feel like now I'm in the mode of speaking on stages. Speaking on stages, speaking on virtual events, doing as far as talks and like shelters, because shelters as part of my story. So
Yes.
I really want to be able to show others that it's possible. And just because you're in this temporary state, it's not your permanent residence.
Yeah. Amen.
And I understand that the thought process, and I understand how people, when they're in that type of environment, that they feel spiritually defeated. And I just want to show them with determination and faith and resilience that it is possible. So homeless shelters is most certainly a special place in my heart. Also, as far as in schools as well, nonprofit organizations, and anywhere that I'm needed, I'm called. So that's something immediately I would love to start doing.
Well, and it's with Mubo Entertainment, it gives us a platform, which is huge for anything we want to help other people with. And I just want to say that it's a pleasure to have you in my company. And I look forward to growing as a person with you and the Mupo Familia.
Absolutely.
And I'm very grateful for Michelle Mupo. She wants to help the veterans that are homeless, put them in housing, and have trained dogs provided for them, which is really awesome. So she also has Keep the Peace Project, which is amazing. And my dad was a veteran, a 13-and-a-half-year veteran in Vietnam and Korea. So my heart is with the veterans, and I was a caregiver of a veteran. And
my cousin is a veteran of 20 years. Tanya, my cousin Tanya, a veteran of 20 years in the Army.
That's amazing. And of course, we want to thank Tanya for her service amongst all the others, so that we can live in a free country where everybody wants to come.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for Shawn White. Thank you for coming onto my show, JoJo's Mojo. Sometimes I flip it, JoJo's Mojo. But you know what? Either way, we win.
Amen.
Well, we'll talk to you soon. See you later. And thank you so much, Shawn, for coming on my show.
Most definitely. Anytime. And we most certainly will have to go ahead and do this again, because right now, with everything which is going on, I believe as far as what we have is the best thing in town. I don't care what anybody else says, what anybody else have going on. I can tell you that if you have an idea, if you have a passion, a vision, then we need to have a conversation. We really need to have a conversation, because what we have going on in the direction in which that we're going, you want to be a part of. You don't want to miss out on that. And like I like to tell people like this. You remember when Bitcoin first came out,
Mm,
and for the most part, people were like, "Well, what is Bitcoin? What is cryptocurrency? Never heard of it." But those out in the inside, they knew the potential. And so, because of that, there are now crypto millionaires and some even billionaires. Even like as far as with Tesla, when people was like, Tesla, right? But now, I mean, for the past few years, everybody knows Tesla. Everybody knows Elon Musk. Move Entertainment is the same way. And our goal is to become 24/7 to reach every single household all over the world. And we're very much represented all over the world, not only as far as in the United States, but also overseas as well. We have as far as Scotland, Ireland, UK, for an example, Australia, I believe,
yes.
France, which is
Yes.
pretty awesome. And that's just the beginning. We're just getting started, fam. We're just getting started. So if you're saying to yourself, you know what? Yeah, I would have loved to be on radio, or man, I always wanted to be on TV, and you had an idea or you had a passion, but let's say, for instance, you were like, that was then. Now's the opportunity to reignite that dream. And what a better way is with this once in a lifetime opportunity. And we would love for you to come hang out with us. We do have our opportunity calls every Wednesday in which that you can learn more about our organization, our culture. And believe me, the CEO, Miss Michelle Mupo, she's such a sweetheart. And what I also love is that she's straight up. She don't,
Yes.
she don't pull no bones, pull no punches. She's going to tell you exactly what it is, what we have to offer, and how you could benefit. And from there, it's up to you. And I can tell you, we are growing. From the 3 months I've been in, we are growing. We're just getting bigger. We're just getting started. And you don't want to be one of those individuals that just sat back and said, yeah, that's not for me. Yeah, that's just a fly by night company. And then 3 months or 6 months, you're just kicking yourself in the tail of just saying, what you don't want to do that. So if you want more information, please feel free to reach out to myself or Joanna for more details.
That sounds great. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on my show and being a part of the Mupo Familia. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anytime.